Welcome everyone to another episode of A Bright Side and episode 2 of the Great Cornish Pasty-off. Today we are pitting two legendary giants against each other, Rose and Warrens. So let's go check it out. While I'm here in Penley Park, I've never noticed this tree before. What a lovely tree, look at the shape. Look at the shape of that. It's amazing. Oh, I just like that. The old tree in Penley Park. Nice. By the way, very thick, heavy snow has fallen on Penzance. Life has ground to a halt. So for episode 1, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see that video, we pitted the Cornish oven over at Eastern Green against Aunty May's over in Newlyn. Cornish oven marginally beat Aunty May's. What we're doing is we are grading it in 10s. So, you know, basically out of 10 is going to be our score. We look for a couple of things within the pasty. I'm not a pasty expert. Well, I'm not like a food expert. I'm not a connoisseur in that way. So, you know, I just like what I like, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think is the best pasty. And to keep the competition a little bit fairer, it'll be like for like pasties, so it'll always be a short crust and it'll always be a steak pasty. You know, because if you like get a steak pasty in one place and then you randomly go off and get like a cheese and onion pasty in another, that's not going to really be a fair sort of test of a pasty, because we're basically sticking with the traditional Cornish pasty for this this little series of videos. They're not going to run concurrent. The last video we shot was a few weeks ago. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see that video. So they'll pop up every so often on the channel going into next year, because we are now almost at Christmas. So the series will definitely be continuing into 2023, because there are some bakeries that I want to pit against each other, as it were. Right, let's head into town. So when it comes to these bakeries, there are a couple of rows in Penzance. There's one in the main street in Market Jew Street, and there's also another one in Causeway Head. Same with Warrens, they've got 2 or 3 shops as well, sort of dotted around the town. So I'm going to just obviously go to one, and I'm going to go and get a medium of each, because, you know, I love pasties, but I don't know if I'll be able to eat too large, like in one sitting. That's a little bit overboard, I think. But so yeah, a couple of mediums, one from each, and I might take it down. Yeah, I might take it down to the harbour and sort of sit at the harbour, look at the boats, and give you my thoughts on the pasties down there. Alright, first up, Rose. I think they've been around since, 1949. I see a little date stamp on their window. Premier Baker since 1949. Alright, let's head in. What I will pick up is a little beverage in a minute. I think just a water. I think that'll be fine. Let's pick that up. Spring water. Alright. Loving that artwork on the side of the wall there. That's awesome. Okay, I've procured my medium steak from Rose and a bottle of water. So we'll head to Warrens now and pick up a medium steak from there. Nice. My goodness. Right, there's the Warrens I'm going to use. Like I said, there are a couple dotted around town, but the reason I'm going to use this Warrens is because I've never actually been in there. So we'll see what the pasties are like from in there. That's the one in by the wharf side. Alright, and the other Rose is, wow, it's bright, is just up there in the main street, but we use the one in Causeway Head. Alright, heading in. The oldest Cornish pasty maker in the world, 1860. That's quite cool. Alright, I've procured my Warrens medium steak. Warrens, 1860 it states there. Alright, that's pretty cool. That's like, what, 160 odd years they've been making pasties, so alright. I do always like to point out this view when I'm in the Wharfside Centre, because, you know, on a lovely bright day, sensational. St Michael's Mount there in the centre of frame. Yeah. I was up here a couple of weeks ago and the weather was quite the opposite from what it is now. It was, well, I mean, granted it was the evening time, but it was lashing down with rain, it was freezing cold, and it was for the Penzance Christmas lights switch on of 2022. So if you want to see that video, I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, the difference between then and now, and I know a few days have passed, well, a couple of weeks actually, but yeah, looking beautiful. Lovely low winter's sun there in the sky, directly above St Mary's Church. Amazing. Right, well, I'm starving, so let's go eat. I have literally just walked past a man dressed as a pirate. Pirates of Penzance. Now the plan was to consume my pasties here on this corner of the harbour. We quite often have ice creams here. We get an ice cream over there quite often, like in the summer, and sit in this general area and have the ice creams, and it's quite nice. Nice views, but today that sun is really blasting into my eyes off of the water, being reflected by the water, so I'm going to just move around this way a little bit more and find a nice place to eat. And by the way, I do love Penzance Harbour. I love Penzance, but I do love the harbour here at Penzance. Used to be much, much, much bigger. If I was here pre-1960s, I would literally be in the water now, because all of this, where the car park is, was all filled in back in the 1960s to make for the car park, to make way for the car park, because this was a very, very expansive harbour back in its day. Big trading port, you know, Victorian days, and well, before that as well, like, you know, 1700s, etc, etc. But yeah, Penzance Harbour was very, very large, but it has now been cut in half, basically, to make way for this. I don't remember it as a harbour because I wasn't born in the 1960s, but I came a decade later. But yeah, I would love to have seen this as a harbour, because it would have stretched all the way over there, presumably to, like, more or less where the bus station is. Yeah, would have been lovely to have seen. Pile of chain there that rusted out. I don't think that would, I assume that's not, like, active anymore. It might be, I don't know, but it's very rusted out. These ropes leading down into the harbour. There's a few boats there. Most of the boats, however, for the winter are brought up onto the harbour. There's a little section over here which is like fenced off there, where the boats reside during the winter months. Yeah. Nice. Right, I'm going to get out of the car park section and just kind of meander on over to the far side here. I'll have the boats behind me and the harbour in front of me. I'll sit down and eat the pasties and give you my opinion. I'll start with Rose, because I went to Rose first, and then we'll have the Warrens afterwards. So, and yes, the sun is still in my eyes. I suppose because my angle ultimately hasn't changed. But here's the, let me climb up here a minute. Just digress away from the pasties. But yeah, some of the boats there, tied up there. Or tied up, they're just brought up onto the car park. Or I assume a boat park. Maybe we'll call this fenced in section a boat park. Yeah. There's a gentleman up there doing some work on his boat. Won't intrude too much there. And the strange shape of boats. So they have to have these like little poles, these like stanchion things. I'm sure they've got a proper name. Sort of there to keep them upright. I've just got my pasty out. Maybe this isn't a good idea eating it on the harbour because I've just been like surrounded by this swarm of little tiny birds. Hello, little tiny bird. And all your friends. You want a little bit of my pasty, don't you? I don't know really if pasties are very good for you, so I won't be giving you any pasty today. Sorry. You kind of snuck up on me there. Yeah, so here we go. The two heavyweights of Cornish bakery. Rose and Warren's. Right, so here we go with the Rose. Just had a little chat with that lady, she seemed very nice. No burnt bottom. Now I like a burnt bottom. You have to have a burnt bottom. You quite often see like the sort of burnt edging around here. Hey, are you trying to cut in on my video? I might have to move in a minute. Anyway. Alright. Very bright. Okay, so just like the knobbly bit, the end bit of the crimp. Pastry's a bit dry. Oh gosh, yeah, pastry's very dry. You can see that it might be a little bit shadowed out by the camera itself. Turn that way a bit. And see there the inside goodness of the pasty. Oh yeah, that pastry is very, very dry. Yeah, quite a lot of seasoning. You know, like a lot of pepper. Not a ridiculous amount. I've had some rows where they've been really, really peppery. Okay, it's alright. It's not bad. The like I said, the pastry is extremely dry, which doesn't make it the most enjoyable of pasties. It's alright. It's okay. Look at you congregating for some pasty. It's like a scene from Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I feel they're gonna like peck me to death in a minute if I don't give them some pasty. My goodness. Yeah, look at you all getting excited. Need to keep my balance here a little bit because it's a sloped entry into the water down there. I think my issue, avoid that bird poop, which is fresh, it must have come from one of you. I think my issue with the rose is, the more I'm eating it, the more peppery it is, which is fine. I like a bit of pepper in a pasty, but not, you know, a ridiculous amount. But kind of all the ingredients are all like mushed into one. It's like a mush inside there. And that, along with the extremely dry pastry. It's alright. Flip the camera around. Look at these guys. I don't even know what type of bird you are. What are you? What species of bird are you? If you guys know in the comment, let me know in the comments if you know what type of bird that is. They're very, very attractive. Oh, he's getting a little bit argy-bargy. Hell up. Look at you, man. Yeah, he's a bit fatter than the others. Yeah. We'll flip that camera back round. Oh, where am I doing? Back to front. There we go. Yeah, so that's kind of like my issue with this rose. Very dry pastry. It's all a bit mushy inside. Very peppery. Oh, birds, look, this is getting ridiculous. Get away. Get away from me. You're not having pastry. I don't think it's very good for you. It'll clog up your insides. People like walking past like, what's he doing? Who's he talking to? He's like bird man or pasty man talking to these birds. Yeah, I'm not going to carry on eating that bit of crimp because it's really dry. That's I think we'll leave that. I'm not going to leave it for the birds, however, because I don't think pastry, bread, all that sort of stuff, I don't think is particularly good for birds. But what I do need after that rose pasty is some water. Coastal spring. Oh, there's like a lifeboat inside. Oh, I didn't realise that. Lifeboats. Maybe money has gone to the lifeboat. That'll be good. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's like a picture of a lifeboat inside the bottle. Very cool. God, I need more water after that. So, I've had quite a lot of rose pasties. You know, they're usually sort of, on an average, sort of like an average level of pasty. That one today was not good, if I'm being honest. Like I said, the pastry was very dry. The insides was a little bit mushy. Didn't have that nice burnt crust on the bottom. I think out of 10, I think we're going to have to go. I think we're going to have to go over 3.5. I think that wasn't good. That was not a good pasty. And like I said, I have had rose before. I've had lots of rose before, and they've been absolutely fine. So maybe it's just a bit of an off day in there. But as of the recording of this, I'm going to give that pasty a 3.5. I think a 3.5 out of 10 because just was disappointing. That wasn't good. I did put the Warren's pasty back in my bag, and now that I've consumed the rose pasty, all the birds are gone, which I'm kind of relieved about. They were giving me a little bit of hassle, I'm not going to lie. But I expect when I get the Warren's pasty out, they'll come back. I just want to watch my foot in here, but I'm just intrigued by this. Is there like a... Is it just a broken bit of wall, or is there a pipe? Oh, that's a bit slippery. I don't want to end up in the harbour, particularly on a very chilly day like today. No, I think that's just broken. I don't think it was a pipe. It looked like there was a pipe from up the top, but no, I don't think there's anything coming out of there. I think it's just broken. Right, I need to clamber back up. This is very slippery. I need to put my hands down. Whoa. Alright, maybe I shouldn't have gone down there. Okay. We're good. I think I need a bit more water, actually. I'm a bit disappointed by that rose pasty. I had higher expectations. Like I said, they are just a, you know, average sort of pasty. Yeah, 3.5 out of 10. Might be able to go to, you know, you can go back to Rose tomorrow and you might end up getting a pasty that might be slightly better. I don't know. It's just my thoughts on today's pasty that I've had. Right, I'm still hungry, so let's dig into the Warren's pasty. Nice bag, by the way. I like that. Warren's. 1860. That's amazing. You know what? That's like a year before the American Civil War. That was 1861 to 1865. Can you believe it that Warren's have been a thing since 1860? I know they're an old bakery, but that's like 162 years? As of the recording of this, 2022, that's right, 162 years, yeah. What's that say on the back? The oldest Cornish pasty maker in the world. Right, let's give it a go. And of course, my friends have returned. Right, I fancy it's a little bit smaller than the Rose. They were both medium, but I would say that was slightly smaller than the Rose medium pasty. Pastry looks okay, a little bit dry on the top, but it's got a fairly good crimp with like a little extended knobbly bit at the bottom. See what it's like. Hello again. I think that bird, I don't think that bird has got a leg. You know, he's got like one leg. Oh yeah, look, he's lost, that little bird there's lost his foot. He seems to be getting around alright though. Set the camera back up. Flip out the screen so I can see myself. Not that I want to see myself particularly, but I need to make sure I'm lined up so you can see me. Pastry's better. Definitely the pastry's better. Still a little bit dry, but not as dry as that Rose one. Ooh, hotter too. Not that that's not a criticism of Rose, because obviously the Rose pasty came out of the oven first. You know, that's not a criticism, but yeah, this is definitely a hotter pasty. Ooh. There's birds everywhere. So I don't know what species they are. These little brown, I don't know, it's like little white chests. I don't know what they are. There's another bird up there, on the top of that mast, looking down at me. It's not a seagull. Not many seagulls around. I can only assume it's to do like with avian flu. We haven't had many I haven't really seen many seagulls over the last sort of few months, really. So whether they've had a bit of a culling by Mother Nature, I don't know. He's making a lot of racket up there. It's like a blackbird. He's a different type of bird to these ones. But yeah, you're going in my bag now, birds. Come on, let's not be ridiculous. Maybe this wasn't the best of ideas that I've had to, you know, eat a pasty, 2 pasties down in the harbour. It's not a bad pasty actually. Nicely seasoned, a little bit less pepper than Rose, but the Rose pasty was really quite peppery. This one, yeah, they've pretty much got the seasoning spot on. Meat isn't bad. Oh, what I did forget to check on the bottom, let me flip the camera around. What I did forget to check was the burnt bit, but actually this doesn't have a burnt bottom either. So both Rose and Warren's didn't have that nice sort of burnt effect along the bottom of the pasty. But it's the inside of it. Again, like, similar to the Rose, it's a little bit mushy inside. But it's alright. Got something stuck in my teeth. What the heck is that? Some like stringy, there you go, some like stringy meat substance, like a bit of sinew. Wasn't the nicest. It's funny with Warren's. I've commented on the channel before that I don't think I'm always a bit disappointed with the Warrens. You think these guys have been making pasties since 1860, and I mean, whether they've changed their recipe, I don't know, or whether they've just kept with the same recipe and like, other bakeries have come along and have caught up and have maybe surpassed them in terms of like quality and whatnot. But for such an old pasty maker, they're not great. Itchy nose there. They're not that great. You know, you think the pedigree behind them, as it were. I've always considered a Warren's pasty a bit of an emergency pasty. So if I really, really want a pasty and I see a Warren's, I'll buy one. You know, they're fun. But like I said, more of an emergency pasty. But that wasn't great. It's alright. It's relatively tasty. But yeah, it's whoa! See all these birds down here by me. They want this. You want this, don't you? But the pastry is definitely better on this one. Again, you could go in tomorrow, might be better, might be worse. But on today, as of the recording of this, the Warren's pastry is better than Rose. As for the insides, on a par. I don't think the meat is the best. It's a little bit sinewy. Sinewy? Is that a word? A bit of like meat stuck in my teeth. I don't think I'm going to eat that big old bit there. I think we'll leave that because, again, the pastry was definitely better than Rose, but it still wasn't the greatest of pastries. It was a little bit dry. Let's put that back in my bag so the birds will get the hint that they're not going to have any of my pasty remnant today. Looking for that one that lost its foot. Wonder how it lost its foot. Maybe it got jammed somewhere, or maybe he wasn't born with one, who knows. If I see him again, I'll ask him. He didn't seem to be at any disadvantage though. He was like manoeuvring around like the other birds. And I'm supposed to fly, you don't need a foot, do you? Just my thoughts there on that. A bird without a foot. I will name him Footless Joe. I've no idea why. First name that popped into my head. Maybe because Christmas is coming up. Oh, there he is. There's Footless Joe. Oh, no, he's not. You were just hiding your foot. I got excited and I thought I was going to see Footless Joe again. But yeah, first name that popped into my head. But maybe because Christmas coming up, Joe, Joseph. Oh, definitely need to wash those two pasties down with this. Where's Footless Joe? Has he flown off? Oh, skipping around. I've got rid of the pasty. You know, I've eaten the pasties. There's no more pasty for you. Well, no more. There's no pasty. I didn't give you any pasty. Maybe a little crumb flicked off while I was eating, but that wasn't intentional. Well, I feel that I've had a couple of pasties for my lunch. I did want a pasty today. I fancied a pasty today, but they didn't satisfy. I'm not going to lie. They didn't satisfy. They were just all right. RNLI volunteer crews rescue on average 22 people a day. Crikey. That's quite impressive. Oh, leg's gone to sleep now. So I was kind of in a crouch position. So, marks out of 10. So we gave Rose a 3.5. I think the Warrens I'm going to give a 4.5. It was today a better pasty than Rose. They kind of fluctuate. I mean, I have had half decent Warrens before. I've had terrible Warrens, but then I've had half decent Rose, and like today I've had a terrible Rose. So I think sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles, or the pasty crumbles. But today, I think Warrens have beaten Rose. 3.5 out of 10 for Rose. What did I say? 4.5, I think, for Warrens. Not great scores, considering they are old bakeries. Again, Warrens has been a bakery since like 1860, and Rose since 1949. You know, I mean, so they've had, you know, a good few decades of sort of baking heritage as well. I was a bit disappointed with the two of them. They need to, in my opinion, they should be a little bit better. I think they should really pick up their game a little bit. But I do believe the irony of the Warrens, I think whatever the outcome of today's result, I think the winner was always going to be a Rose, because I've got a sneaky feeling that Warren's no longer make their own pasties, and they are subcontracted to a third party, and I believe that that third party is Rose. I do believe that Rose make Warren's pasties for Warren's with their own recipe, you know, with Warren's recipe. I believe I'm right in saying that. If you know, if you've got any more information on that, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear from you, because, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know that Warren's, you know, have been, in inverted commas, making their own pasties since 1860, yet actually for the last few years they have not been making any pasties at all because they subcontract it to another company. But there we have it. 3.5 for Rose, 4.5 out of 10 for Warren's. Come on, guys. Come on, you can do better. You can do better. A little sweep across Penzance Harbour. A beautiful winter's day. Most of those birds have now gone. There's one there hanging around still, but the others have departed because they did not have any food from me. We're going to leave the video there. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you for watching. It's very difficult to do my outro looking into the sun like that. Turn it like that. That's better. I can see now. I can see. We are on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at The Brightside. So from us to you and the birds, cheers and gone. I wonder where Footless Joe went. Do you know where Footless Joe went? Come on, Footless Joe, where are you? I just wanted to say goodbye properly to you. No, I don't think Footless Joe. I think Footless Joe, without his foot, has flown away. I forgot to say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash the bell, and you'll never miss out on any video that we put up on YouTube. What do you say to that? Do you subscribe to The Brightside? Yeah, he does. He does.